It's Football Friday again.
Yes, it is.
So let's just get straight down to business because the games are that good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Kahuku, new look Kahuku, takes on Campbell this weekend. That one's big, right, Kyle?
Yep, championship weekend across the board. We got to start, like you said, in the OA Open. Campbell, Kahuku, arguably the two best teams in the league this season. And like you said, new look Kahuku. They have a new quarterback, the Bosco kid in Matai Fuyava. He's had all this time, and it showed against Mililani last weekend. They were able to pretty much handle the Trojans all game. You know, the score was the score, but they looked so much more cohesive. He has the weapons like Mana Carvalho and Aiden Manutai playing receiver, playing DB for both sides of the ball, and they just look so connected as opposed to the first game when he really didn't have enough time to get to learn the offense. And now he's fully invested in the system, and he's a potent quarterback with a solid arm. And speaking of solid arms, Steve, we have to talk about the other side of the ball, the Campbell Sabres, and Jaren Kiave Sangopolo-Tele. He is officially the state's all-time career passing leader, leapfrogging Dylan Gabriel for that career number of passing yards. So he slinged it in that comeback win against Kapolei. You know, we thought the Sabres were out of it. They were down 26 points at one point in that game, and they clawed their way all the way back. An insane fourth quarter for them to win, to get into their first OA championship game since 1997. I wasn't even born yet, Steve. Yeah,
Thanks for that, Kyle.
I didn't mean to do that,
depressing.
but you have to bring up that number.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, how about this? What's on the line? Because, I mean, obviously the title itself, but anything as far as seeding going into the state tournament?
Yeah, so as far as seeding goes, if you win that OIA championship, you're more likely to get a top 2 seed. If you get that runner-up, you're more likely or not going to get a 3 or 4 seed. So it really depends on who you want to see in that Open State championship tournament. Is, you know, and plus, it's all about bragging rights. You know, these are two very passionate fan bases, Eva Beach, Kahuku. They want this championship to catapult them into the state tournament, but it's just as important as the state title.
So if we go to ILH, things got moved around a little bit. So everything is on the line here. So one seed in the state tournament, and it goes down to Kamehameha or St. Louis. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so St. Louis won the first round of the the ILH regular season, and there was a tie, a 3-way tie between Punahou, Kamehameha, and St. Louis in that second round of games that they play each other. So that created a toss-up. So that's why you saw St. Louis take on Punahou last weekend, which was the first round of the ILH playoffs for them to play Kamehameha. Now, thankfully, this scenario didn't play out, that if St. Louis lost, then Punahou would have had to play Kamehameha this weekend to play St. Louis next week, which would have jumbled up a lot of things. So this game is for the ILH title. So yeah, arguably the best 2 teams in the ILH. You have St. Louis and Kamehameha. St. Louis looking to get back into the state postseason, something they haven't been able to do in a long time, you know, especially since, you know, they don't have the Lee brothers anymore at the helm. They have a new head coach, and they want to write their own history by making it to that state championship tournament. So it is going to be a lot on the line this weekend for 2 very solid fan bases. Again, we keep talking about the fan bases. St. Louis, they bring the crowd. Kamehameha also brings their crowd. So it's going to be an exciting one in the ILH as well.
Yeah, because winner moves on to the state tournament for the 1 ILH seed. The loser, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we still have other playoffs too, right?
Yep, Saturday night doubleheader action. We have the OIA D2 and Division 1 OIA championships. In the D2, you have Roosevelt, who's had another solid year, and Kaiser going up against each other for that D2 crown. And also in the D1, you have 2 teams that weren't really projected to get to the D1 title match. You have Lelehua and Kailua. Now, if you remember the last time these 2 played, it got really chippy over at Hugh Yoshida Stadium. It was a wild game. So not a lot of, you know, kind of some bad blood between these 2 teams, and they want to get revenge, especially Lelehua, who lost that game in the end. They want to get revenge, and they've been the hot team. Bennett Strobel has led that offense since taking over at midseason. And Lelehua looks good. And fun fact, their offensive coordinator, Brian Moniz.
Right, yeah.
So, you know, you can kind of see the flashes of what Moniz used to do as a player in this team now, and it's starting to pay off.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to do a fist bump. I think I dislocated my shoulder last time around.
We got to be safe. We got more football to talk about.
All right, we'll be right back. You're watching Sunrise